Let's see if this works. Nothing on the screen at all. Or is there? Yeah, we're live! Woo! So everybody, we got one viewer. I'm with Len.
Hi everybody.
Who's my biggest fan. And I know that there's no one's going to watch this, of course. As indeed they shouldn't. Because it's rubbish. Same old thing. But Len, I think people might know who I am. I'm from London. Been playing a while. Managed to achieve my Grandmaster title a couple of years ago. Still hoping to win the World Championship, I guess. But Len, more importantly, can you give a little bit of...
I'm a student of the Backgammon Academy.
Where are you from?
Australia originally. I learned to play in Australia. Then I've been living and playing in London for a few years. I'm also hoping to win the World Championship, sure, next year.
Are you going to go?
Maybe.
That would be cool. The problem is the accommodation cost. I like to stay in the hotel, but
well,
we could share. I think you can put 3 people in a room and hope they don't notice that the third person is an adult and not a child. So, have you won any major?
I came second in the London Open this year.
Yes, you did.
That's my best result for a long time.
Who beat you?
Radu. It was naught I could do against Radu.
I think I recall vaguely you've also that you've had other tournament successes.
Nothing too big.
And you play at the Ealing club sometimes.
Yeah, Ealing would be my home club.
Which is the west of... So we're presently northwest London in my house. Oh no, can't believe, great. But at least Kat's using the litter tray. And Len plays in a club in Ealing with people like Peter Bennett and Lawrence Powell and Eric Maibiu and
the West London crew. It's a great club. There's lots of people there. It's becoming really popular under the Sean Edwards.
Yeah,
they're
shout
really
out.
Doing a great thing.
Shout out to Sean, who will never know that we shouted him out. Okay, there are 5 people watching. Oh my god. Alright, so we don't have like 20,000 cameras like Tara Mendocino, but hopefully the mic is on and I might just call out the dice, and if anyone can really be bothered to stick around for the extra transcription, then that's the kind of hook. Okay.
GG.
Good match. Yeah, this is going to be transcribed. Wait, hold on. Are we doing any? This is not even for the. Are we doing any?
For the winner.
20
pounds
for PR. And wait, you just
Let's go 20 for PR and 20 for the win.
Okay. And we can bet. We can decide about bets when we're transcribing. Okay. 6-5. Okay, we're playing on the clock.
How does this work?
No, you just press start game and give me the dice. You're nervous.
I am. It's been a long time.
6-1. I'm gonna I might end up talking a little bit.
Give me hints.
Well, I'll try, but in a kind of a round. Good. I mean, I'll talk about my own plays just because maybe that will be a slight enticement to people to continue watching. So I think in these positions it took ages to realise that you leave the block on the 8 point. We got the scorecard here.
Red team is off to a good start, I feel.
1, 2, Just make the normal play and not think.
Right, can I cube this? It looks pretty good. There's no picture. Alright, let's start.
Don't forget, you're playing on the clock.
Oh, yeah.
You're not in clock zone. Well, the first thing is you might not get this guy saved. Oh no, what's she on? Careful,
Right.
she bites you. I know, I know that sounds a bit. Which one is it? Alright, well I know I'm going to take, I'm just kind of stalling for no reason. Alright. I guess I take 22
Was it a cube?
minutes.
It feels like it almost wasn't a cube.
No, I don't know.
Because this looks stronger than this, so I was dubious about whether it's a cube.
Well, it's weird because strictly the rule is that you need to have a certain number of market using sequences. So maybe double 6 and double 3 when market loses, even though double 3 would have got that guy saved.
About making this and then this.
That would be, and whatever I roll, that would be a market losing sequence, I think. Okay. I don't know what to do. We got full eating as well. I don't know what to do. I don't want
Not this one?
to. Maybe. I think there were lots of possibilities. I don't think I can afford to leave the guy on the 22 if I have to come out all the way. This probably shows me that my last play was wrong. Did you put that in BG from Belsize?
I did. Well, I guess this is pretty easy. That looks right. That looks right. That's almost better.
Okay. Started with like 3 blunders in a row. Not you, me. Or at least.
I don't really want to get here. Forward. So would be that. Six two, 6-3.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just for the one viewer, what would you say your, you can inflate it if you want, it's fine. What would you say your PR is? You can knock a point off it.
I would.
No, seriously, actually, what? So people kind of know. So I made that and came down. Yeah.
I'll probably play this game between 5 and 6. That would be my guess.
This one, this 11 point. I'm sure you'll play under 6, yeah. And you might well play under 5. And maybe, let me say it.
Can just stack them up. It's probably fine. I don't know why, for some reason, I'm going to do that.
Yeah, it seems all your numbers play well, your 6s or 5s. So, no need to leave a shot. Obviously, this is just a very easy kind of forward game. I've got reasonable timing to get a shot. I've been trying to think more about, instead of trying to show off about how much I think I know, just trying to aim videos at more intermediate advanced players, just to try and explain what. So, if you feel like kind of explaining what you're trying to achieve, which you're doing.
Yeah, well, right now I'm thinking about whether to play super safe or kind of pay now and give a shot. So the giving a shot version is that, and I give a 6-4. Getting hit is super costly, and the safe version is that, but then everything is ugly later, and I probably end up giving a shot. So that's why I think I should pay now.
Okay. Gotcha. And obviously what I'm doing is just trying to make sure that I have the strongest board at such time that Len does or doesn't give me the shot. And obviously that depends on whether or not the dice comply, because I might have to crunch. Oh, here's a decision.
Yeah, I make that, and then I'm going to have to break it soon anyway. But I think it's still right because it gives me plenty of timing and blocks double 6s.
Yeah, it looks right. I'm checking the chat, by the way. Oh, there are 6 people watching.
Ooh.
Justin's watching.
Hello, hello.
Do you remember that I used to say hello to not Justin Noel, because he's too good to watch this, but no, actually he does watch it sometimes. Justin Hampton, he lives in North Carolina.
I don't know. Hello, Justin.
Yeah, so just continuing, it's going to be a matter of, this Justin knows more. If Justin's the only watcher, then you're going to check it. I was playing Peter yesterday online, and he was taking back every single, Peter, if you ever watch this, every single move. And so I was thinking, why not just visual, instead of clicking on the checkers?
Well,
But people can't do it. Of course, the answer is that not everyone can do that.
I think it forces you to think about the second best move. So some people will play the move that they think is wrong first, then move it back.
Yeah, Mochi does that, yeah.
Yeah, and
But you can visualise that, but it's harder.
yeah. But if you force yourself to go through the action, then you're forcing yourself to look at the second
Yeah,
move.
yeah. So I was going to say, maybe, well, you played now, but even now, and before that roll, you had a slightly tenuous, with this gap on the 2 point, obviously people will notice that you can leave shots with numbers like 5-3, 5-4,
Now
6-5.
6-5 is a disaster.
Yeah, people always mention the double shot, but it only comes up once in a while. Obviously, 17-1. But people love to mention. It's questionable actually whether it's always right to protect against it. I never used to, but anyway. So now I have to break my board, which is a pain. So I'm gonna just keep 5 points rather than 5.5 or whatever. I hate to have the block there, so there's a shot.
So I give you 11 numbers, or I take next one off and give you 13.
Back wheel.
I have to go with my instinct, I think, on this.
Hades.
This one feels safer next roll. This one feels safer on your roll. I don't know.
Wait, so you'd already taken the checker off? I got confused by you seemed to touch that.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I would have done this, but I would think it through. Of course, you're going to leave more shots. Excuse me. This way. Unless you roll like an exact 3.
Yeah.
Or a 2-1.
You're going to go with 1.
That's true. That's what I would have worked that out eventually. See, I find these cats here.
Some feline fans.
Yeah, they get like. So I honestly don't know whether to go or not. Oh yeah, I can blame it too. Okay, there we go.
What is the benefit of staying?
Well, don't help me with the. What are you bluffing? The benefit of staying, obviously, is that you don't point on me for set numbers. That's a big benefit.
Right.
Yeah, even though you don't agree with this, I'm going to do it. Yeah, you should don't. I play with. It's funny. People inadvertently like help you in chouettes. I play in a chouette, and it's a great number. So you wouldn't have pointed on me with that because you'd have left a shot. You would have chosen to do that.
I'm going to maybe get a few more games.
I don't think that's necessary because now, yeah, like, I mean, as it happens, I'm probably gonna stay. I think. Yeah, you leave shots for no reason. I don't think you're gonna win again anyway, but we will see. I would bet. That's one I would probably bet. Yeah, I'm gonna stay. It goes there. Yeah. Like I've still got a 5-point board. It's dangerous.
It is.
Okay. It's funny, like you stay and then you end up getting 1, 2, 3, and then you end up getting gammed. I don't know if this has been a very basic. Sometimes backgammon's a bit boring and basic, I feel.
Well, there's beauty in every position.
So it's like almost 0 gammons. Okay.
Done.
So now, hopefully you guys can see the score. Len wins 2 cubes, so Len's winning 2-0. Woohoo! 5-2. Len splits.
Oops.
That's alright.
No.
Just press on, yeah. 5-1. I'm gonna split as well.
73.
Very standard.
Easy peasy.
So 3rd roll, that's it. 4th roll, standard. Just making the anchor.
Now I probably want to stay back
Why?
because of these stacks here.
Oh, I see. But you want to escape, no?
I'll escape with. If I roll a 6-2 there, like escape to here, 6-5, yes.
So it's interesting that your first thought you had about the position is you want to stay back. But actually, I think if
I
you're
would say
ahead,
more
you roll a
inclined to
3.
stay back.
No, yeah. If you roll a 3,
Mm-hmm.
then you're ahead, which I think you might be. You might want to step up, even though you might. I don't know. I might be wrong. So why don't you pause? Because I'm going to clean up what the cat has just.
Okay. Brief intermission here. What do the fans?
Hey, you're a natural.
What do the fans think about this cube?
You're a natural.
I think it's not quite a cube, but it is pretty tempting.
Wait, what? Are you? Is it really it?
No, not really.
Oh, I see.
If Simon was not quite as good as he was, and he was drunk, and we were playing for money, I would cube this.
So I made the. Oh, we only got 2 watches. That's pretty. That's pretty fair. Where did I put my? Where did I put it?
Let's go. I'll check.
Okay. So they've all gone. All 5-4. I can come in on the 5, I guess, but I want to slot the 5 point. So how do I decide between them?
Why would you? What's the benefit of coming in on 5?
Just to diversify the checkers, I think. I don't know, but this is again just going to go with instinct. Okay. Takes the wind out of my sails when people stop watching. I hope they can. I hope. Yeah, it's.
Actually, he seems to like these sorts of moves. Well, I don't see the reason why.
What do you mean?
Leaving shots here doesn't seem to be a big cost. The big
I think you're confused. I mean, I don't see why you would. You're ahead in the race, so. Just because you said if you leave a shot, if you leave something there, and I can just, it makes my 5-1, 5-3 good for nothing, and it's hardly a gain for you to.
Yeah.
Should I? But I didn't think. Should I run?
I don't know the races.
It's too late now.
That's not great.
36. Okay. Guess you have to do that. I think you're winning the race without giving up too much away.
I recently learned what cluster counting is, but I've forgotten a lot of it very quickly.
You're up by 12, just because in case anyone actually watches this. I think 12. You're up by 12, 82, 116. I think 116, 128 before the roll. Okay.
Right, this looks good enough. Score.
Okay, so I'm not going to think. It's very unlikely to just give it. Not even a second.
Can't leave a shot against that.
This is going to get exciting. Not now. You know, the start of a match is always like, people are going to, when it gets down to DMP, okay, so, because I can't put the checkers in my board where I want them with the 5, or even the 2, I'm just going to Now I just saw I can leave one on the midpoint, but I think you can probably, it's probably not too bad, but you can play a checker from your 8 point here anyway, so you might not move from there anyway. So
there's a bit of a difference. If you had this one, you would have more shots at a flush shot out here. Would you?
Yeah, one more shot, yes. That's not very much though.
But that's the reference position I would think of. And in the 20 anchor rather than 21.
Don't know, honestly don't know what do you mean?
If this was here,
Yeah.
it's a very familiar position.
What, you would stay on the midpoint?
No, I thought your move was right.
But how does it relate to the...
What I mean is, from my memory of whether to give up the midpoint like this,
yeah.
often relates to positions where you're here rather than here. And so...
Never thought about it like that. I'm not exactly sure yet what you mean. I mean, to me, it's just a function of whether or not you can hold your timing and keep the mid. But it might well have been right to just leave one on the mid because you had a blocking board. But the reason I did was honestly I couldn't really be bothered. I don't know. It sounds a bit strange just to leave one there. So now I'm going to unstack. Now I am going to unstack the 6 point and put a checker on the ace point where I don't want it. But somehow I want to keep this guy out here.
This one I don't know. That sort of seems normal. Because you might be forced to go. But bringing them home, that doesn't really help me. I'm going to do this. Because the 5 pointers do that.
Okay, yeah, I mean to me your double one was pretty clear. We've still got we got one viewer. $29, 83. What did you roll? 6, 4, 6, 4.
Big numbers.
So one thing that I would tell people if they wanted to know, 1, 2, how many have I played?
That's 2.
Is that in considering recubing, the fact that I'm 2-0 down makes a pretty big difference. Probably not to Len's take point so much, but I can be quite happy to double. Sorry. A little bit earlier than I would, but you know, it's not really going to be ridiculously different. But
I started reading Nick Blazier's book.
Yeah.
And it's pretty clear this is a huge weakness in my game. This is where I think I lose the most equity.
Mm-hmm.
In match doubles and redoubles in particular.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, for me, it's quite an easy thing. You just need to remember that you're down in the score, so you just double early. It's a very simple kind of heuristic or rule or whatever. And I think backgammon is a lot about just remembering certain things, having things in your mind, and running off a checklist. And the score is one of them. But as long as you don't forget. So the race is reasonably close here, right? No? Obviously I've got 2 checkers.
Need some dots.
So Len's got 7 checkers, I've got 7. I don't like these gaps, but just by eyeballing it, I can see. Well, I really don't like the gaps, but it's, as far as a decision goes, easy decision. It's quite an easy decision for me to as to whether to rekey or not.
24 to 30. Wow. That's not good for me. That looks like a pass. It is 24 more. Keith Callan says it's a pass. Put a lot of faith in Tom Keith.
I mean, again, for people that are watching, no, okay, fine, sorry, while it's on pause, so you pass, which might well be, no, I just want you to say, like, how can you tell people, like, what the, aside from the obvious pip count.
Mm-hmm. So the way I approach this, there's 3 race formulas which I know, and if I've got enough time, I do all 3. These are the.
So you did the Keith count, and how do you do that? What do you do?
The Keith count is the pip count, and then you add for wastage. Extra checkers on your low points.
Yeah.
And gaps. They include wastage as well.
Right, so it comes out as what?
24, 26, 27, then
That is
not that low. That wouldn't count. So it's 27, then divide that by 4 is 4. Rounding down, so the Keith count would be 31.
27 divided by 4 is 4.
There are 4 sevens in 27. Well, 3.
27 divided by 4 is 6.
It's 3. 3 point, 3 and a lot.
What? Go. Should we?
Maybe if we look at it
should we go to the next,
retrospective and see it written down, it'll make more sense.
Right.
Have you not seen? You're not seeing the.
I don't use Keith count. I mean, I was like, I asked you. I didn't realise that you were obviously going to say Keith count. So how would I make the decision? And obviously I would look at the pip count, but I would look at, for obviously, number of checkers. You have to look at the number of checkers that you both have, and you didn't explicitly state.
I don't look at the number of checkers.
I'm such an idiot. You didn't state that, but you should. I think you should. So 1, 2, 3, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we both got 7 checkers. So what does that mean? You're not completely. It's not completely beyond the realms of possibility for you to have a reasonable chance of winning.
Mm-hmm.
So then I would say to myself, but hold on, why is the pip count so skewed in your favour? Like, if the pip count is so skewed in my favour, how can it be? No. How can it be that somehow visually it looks like you have a chance of winning? And that's because I've got a very big gap on the 5 and 3 point, and you don't. What does that tell me? It doesn't give me the answer, but it says that I need to think carefully about whether or not I can afford to actually pass whether you can afford to actually pass when I've got this big gap, which really, really works against me. Mm-hmm. And then, if I can, I try and go further into it. I don't know exactly how, to try and work out how bad the gap is for me. So let's say I roll a 5, I will touch checker, it's going to go there. And that's not good. I mean, it's not good to have extra checkers on the ace point. But I suppose, once I roll a 5, then I've only got one more 5 that's going to waste a check and go to the ace point. So, I don't know, I just felt like
maybe having
saying something that would, go on.
An odd number of checkers makes that gap less costly. So if you roll 1-5, let's say you roll 5-4, then you do this. You're still potentially 3 rolls away. Whereas if you had an even number of checkers and you roll 5-4,
Yeah, I don't think that's true because it's so difficult to say whether you're going to be off in 5 or 6. It really depends on what you roll.
do you think that was a take?
No. But it's not, again, being like a purist, it's not about whether or not you get the right decision, it's actually about getting the right reasoning. So you can get the right decision, you're likely to get the right decision here just because of the pip count. If we're right that it's a pass. But that doesn't make you like some sort of backgammon genius, it just means that you've got an easy pointer with the pip count. Now, there's a better way of doing it, and I couldn't manage to do it, which is to kind of, okay, take the pip count and then work through how much the gaps hurt my position and whether or not that can allow me. Now, the Keith count is probably reliable in this situation. But I think it's too much of a shortcut to do those things, and you don't end up understanding the position. Okay, speech over. So like the way you stood that position, if I was being like really harsh, which I always am, I would suggest respectfully that you didn't really like fully.
I don't try to understand.
You were like, okay, I'll just do the count and then and like I don't know who can do any better than that. But
I remember when I first learned the racing formulas. It was clear that they were much better than my intuition or my reasoning.
yeah,
And I've just relied.
that's
on
not
it.
a great that's not a great sign because I think it's the fun is to build up your understanding.
Like
so
the opening moves, like you just memorize them. Like you don't need to reason. Memorization and heuristics are useful. No?
you can, but then you don't get the pleasure of understanding.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the right move, not the pleasure of understanding.
I don't think that was the right move. So you weren't thinking. Yeah, you don't double hit in the after the
But why not? Like, are you just remembering a rule?
because you don't want. I've forgotten what I wrote. No,
Sorry,
what did I roll?
5-2.
Because you don't want. You haven't got enough checkers here to make it viable to make the ace point, so you don't want to put a checker on the 1 point. Like you've only got 7 checkers here. If you had some checkers here,
Yeah,
then
I'm less inclined to split.
oh,
because of your
you're
stack.
resist. I bet this is a very clear. How dare he's resisting. What? But what? Come on. No. You can let it run. Is it on my time? This is absolutely. Go on. Let's have the but.
Here,
Yeah.
because you've got stacks here,
Yeah.
I'm less inclined to split.
No, but you. But well, maybe I don't know about that. I'm on the bar I'm on the bar anyway, so I'll only be able to hit you if you decide to split and hit there. I'll only be able to hit you with one of the triggers. Why the standard player is to come down here because, despite all those other factors which you mentioned, it's so bad to have that checker on the 1 point because you haven't got enough covers in the.
I'm expect you're right about this one.
No, you've got this. You always have this look on your face that's like you're being polite and just dismissing like completely. What happened?
The curing point.
I got a bit heated about that little. But yeah,
Well, here
this
I
is why people.
often want to do that,
But why would you and why wouldn't you?
well, I would so that when I hit you later, I've got
Right.
I've got a block
Why wouldn't you?
because I've got a stack here which is awful,
Yeah. So you think better use of a 5 to bring it from the
Well,
middle.
I mean, even this doesn't seem so bad.
But that's the trade-off. It's like deciding what the better 5 is, right?
Yeah.
So what? How
That's
would you
not true.
decide? How would you work out what the better 5 is? Obviously, there's no.
I say this because I can get that one later. It's not urgent.
You can cover it later.
Mm-hmm.
But what does this do something that doesn't do? What does bringing it?
It removes a block from here.
No, but it came from here. I think you got confused. You had hit.
Yeah.
So what?
But my alternative plays, I was considering this,
Yeah.
or 2 down,
Sure.
or cover and down.
Oh, I see. But so implicit is that you couldn't have brought one there because you didn't have another 2.
Unless I played 2 down.
Right, and you didn't want to play 2 down.
No.
Okay. So
I didn't want
therefore,
to leave a block here.
if you weren't going to do this, then the right. Okay.
This is where I'm a bit stuck.
Okay. What is the?
Should I step up or not?
No, of course. But what is the? What is the?
Well,
This is like I'm running you through the mill
I'm
games.
worried about being
Point. Yeah. Get.
pointed on, attacked. You can attack me. You will attack me with just anything. But if I stay back
Yeah.
and you roll a 6-1, I'm dead. I don't think you've got a cube if I step up. My alternatives are not great anyway. I really don't have any good moves.
So what's the most important thing for you to achieve in this position?
I'm advanced anchor.
So I would say that if you know that, that has to be really, really. Yeah.
And then
Yeah. I mean, I will. One thing that I only learnt recently, I think, is that, especially because I've got an advanced anchor, you need, and that's just one of those, again, shortcut bullshit rules that people can. But I use that without really. I mean, it's kind of obvious why, but so therefore, when you have that 3-1, you should immediately be reaching for those positions. And now, I wasn't going to shake because I do have a cube, most certainly. Because you've got like 2.
And I think I can take this. Even if you point on me, I'm still not dead. So I feel like that's a take.
Okay. Any other? How are you deciding generally? Or I mean, I know it's a specific position, but what kind of things are you looking for?
Okay, well,
Like
winning chances and gaining chances for both sides.
because you know people will read a book and they'll see, oh, you only need 25% to take, and they'll be like, obviously that's probably below the level of people that are not watching this or will never watch this, but how does that translate when you get better? How do you actually? It's a really good question. How do you translate that into, like, how do we know? Like, is it a feel thing or?
I don't have a strong understanding of how I get to the
That's
conclusion.
No.
I look at it and I think, well, I look at it from your perspective, and I was not completely convinced it was a cube. It wasn't an obvious cube to me. Seems completely reasonable.
Oh right.
And
Yeah,
I think,
I
well,
guess
if it's not
because
an easy cube, then
no, I missed out on
can't
that one. You
pass.
said so. Obviously, you weren't going to pass. Okay, so if I let's say we didn't think that it probably wasn't a double and we weren't sure, I would just say to people that one of the major things you need to do is count the race for both sides. It's a big clue. In other words, if you're close in the race, you're not too far down in the race. All things being equal, obviously it depends on what type of position you can think about taking. Now this is like a kind of a position where you as red might be able to enter the race. So the fact that you are down or a little bit in the race, which you're not too far down, means you might be able to take. But I think you need a little bit more than. Now this is an awkward number, but I think it's kind of forced because there's no other reasonable choice. So of course I could pick and pass, but that would leave a shot. So these are quite tricky. I don't know if and the one. I suppose this will. What's the downside of kind of testing here? Well, okay, this leaves an extra 1/6, but it covers the 1 point. So maybe if you come in with certain numbers,
Gives you double threes to make a point.
it gives me double threes to make a point. Yep.
Lovely. Right, this time.
Yeah. Like I might have to leave a shot, you know, like now. I don't have to, but I think I will. I'm not sure. And now that you've got the ace point, you may maybe be able to think about hitting. I'm aware that I don't have to leave a shot, a direct shot. But so you've got like pretty decent chances, but I would say
7-7.
I was favourite because I had the 5 point. I had both 5 points, in fact.
Let me count this one.
I'm 110. Anyone watching? 0? You got 2.
Hello to the viewers. You're 110, did you say?
I think so, yeah.
I think I'm 109. Makes sense. Let me try that again. 41, 81,
You are 109, yeah.
Then that's pretty easy.
Oh, you have no other play though, so you didn't really need to. But then you would have left a shot. I don't. Yeah, you could have done. Okay. Not really sure, but could make the ace point.
Feels a bit funny, not sure why.
Well, I think you need to board because I'm going to end up running at some point. Okay.
What else can I do?
Well, you assume you decided not to leave a shot.
I'm not going to leave a shot.
I'm not saying that that's right, just to definitely not leave a shot. I'm just saying once you decide, but I would not do that because, and I'm not sure that I would be right. No, I would make the 2 point so that you leave a configuration.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not 100% sure that I wouldn't.
We've got some good numbers here. But it's just too scary. Alright, if I roll 3-1, 3-6. threes. 4-3. Double sixes maybe. Not quite enough.
I think that was I think they say in chess, like, certain times when you should be thinking, and you're hardly even a favourite. So it's interesting that. Okay, we can bet. I'd love to. I don't. You can't make those like noises.
I didn't cue.
You can't make those.
It wasn't.
No,
ridiculous.
but I'm objecting to. No, it was. It was. I'm being harsh, annoying,
Okay.
Simon.
Like
That's nowhere near.
How big an error was that?
Like 200, 250. You're not favourite. You're not even a favourite. Like,
well-
I've got a closed board.
I think it's under 300.
I'm like, come on, Len, you know better than that. Come on, man. I mean, you're not. Obviously, the fact that you did think means that you're going to take this view, and now. Well, we can bet. We can have like a. Well, when we go through, we can bet on the size of.
I thought it was worth a look.
I know you did. And I'm saying precisely that it wasn't. And you know. Like, I've got a closed board here, and I've just like made a really good board, and at that particular point you decide, oh, I'm gonna. To me it was. It kind of got worse for you. Oops. So what? Minimize shots? It's really bad.
Right. Who's the race here?
Can I help? Can I help you?
70? What do you want? 67. I'm behind by 3.
I think you're behind. I'm getting confused. 29, 40, 55, 60, 70, yeah, 42. 67, yeah, you're behind.
This one I don't know.
I mean, this has got to be more reasonable than. Well, you're behind though, so it's not good either way, anyway. So maybe it's as bad as.
I think that one might have been close.
Justin's gone. Justin's so nice. How can it? Why would it? Okay.
Because I had
Saying that. What the one hitting with the one?
Yeah.
But if you only have 11 ones, and then the other ones, so you win 11 games. Let's say the other 25 you win 10. That only wins you 21 and 36, which is nowhere near enough. Because when you're 3 pips down. Sorry. This is like really kind of interesting to talk through with someone.
Well,
As you get into all sorts of. Okay, so I just wrote. Oh, I cubed you already.
more's the pity.
I have to try and curve my. But what was in your favour with that position where you had ones to hit was that the numbers that didn't hit are going to be that old one, that are going to be big numbers. But then some of them will be 3-2 or 4-2. So.
Well, 3 pips down is pretty close to even, right? Because I'm unrolled.
That's what I don't think so. I think it makes you like an underdog. I'm not sure how big. I don't think 3 pips down. No, you.
Shit.
I think.
Is that there? I need double sixes. Sorry.
No, not at all. I just got a little bit. I think you did have a checker on the. We can check that. What and whatever. You roll 5. Yeah, I think if you're 3 pips down in a race, I think that makes you an underdog.
Depends how long the race is.
Don't know the So I win 2. So Nasty Simon is 4-2 up.
Never met him.
Okay. There's like a corresponding feeling to every roll, and the feeling when you roll that is like kind of warm. Everyone knows how to play it. Peter?
Summoning my inner Bennett.
Yeah, I think I would have done that. I mean, it looks really nice. It's not too bad. I don't think, as much as you want to make a full point, I don't think you can.
Another anchor sign. Go easy on me.
Okay, so just down to the.
Eating more of your food.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want? Do you?
Ooh,
I've
that's
got
how
more.
hungry I was. That's good.
Sorry.
Is my turn?
Yeah.
This is not exactly what I had in mind. I think I want to keep that going. It's funny, I mean, it's the simplest games to play, but
Yeah.
you can
But
still
you could. Yeah.
find tricky.
I'm fully. I love that. That's a great. I'm really with that. I'm totally. It's exactly on point. And yet you get into like little niggly things where should you maybe? I'll give it away because I'm sure you've seen. Should you make the 4 point and leave a shot? Should you not? And you need to think about. And the differences are not going to be enormous, but.
Well, I think I'm going to. I'm going to have to go next time anyway. And you're not running. I'm not sure about this one. Gives you great 8s. Could make this one. I think that's probably. Not sure.
Yeah, I don't like putting the checker on for 1 point because now you're committing yourself to covering that. So I'm just gonna. I would like maybe to keep that spare there to be able to make the 7 point with more numbers, but I also like to start making the 3 points, so I'm gonna bring it in.
Blocking double fours is quite nice actually. But what can I do?
Oh, blocking double 4. I mean, yeah, but I think that's a minor.
It is mine.
That's like it's not the major. That goes to a good spot here in a way. Like you're kind of not too disappointed to eliminate the contact. Yeah.
And if you come out with a 4-5, I get flash shots.
I'm also well behind in the race, so I'm not even sure. I think I'm behind, so I don't really want to be running. Because I'll end up having these stragglers here. And I'll be. Should I get I mean, I think really the idea with this is that I want us to stay back to exercise maximum blocking power, because I prefer to block double 6 than double 5, just as I prefer to block double 5 and double 4. But if I do stay, I don't have to kind of ruin my board. So maybe I can do a compromise and do that. Because now also, like you said, 6-5 will come out. So I'm going to do that and kind of I'm making the sacrifice on my 4 point rather than. These are like niggly little. Yeah, and I think like it's right to, as soon as you see that you can make the S point, then you're happy to make it. I think I have to do this and keep the blocking points. I don't know.
I won't be able to hit you if you do leave a shot.
Again, I'm going to disagree, but you might be right. Because you really want to have a checker on the 3 point, not just for the bear off, but just because you want to start making it. So, but I think if I'm not ahead, I don't think I should be running. So 66 inches, 110, 104 after the roll, 108. So I'm 4 points down after the roll. I don't think I want to run. Unless there are some exceptions, I don't really. It's a tricky one.
I'm always so impressed by how quickly you can count pips.
Thank you, Len.
There's a
I'm flattered.
Backgammon Studio.
Yeah.
You can. Have you seen the pip counting?
I think that the person that's got the record in that is a guy called Martin Beardcon.
It's like 10 seconds.
I think it's him, but I think it's him. I think the username is Martin. I think.
I've been practicing. I've got down from about 50 seconds to about 25.
Well, I think if I'm down, I don't want to run, but if I break the anchor here and I get missed, I'm still going to have to break something. So I'm reading from you that you think I should come out as well. But okay, I'm going to do it because I don't want to cheat or anything.
Can't cheat. There's no cheating.
So I'm down, so it's confusing.
You're down by 4?
Yeah.
I don't think it's a cube.
So you wouldn't have come out?
I don't think so. I think I would have played from here. I won't be challenging because I don't know.
You're probably right. I
I hear my hits are not that great. So your board is stronger. What can I do?
but let's say it gives you. I gave you a very good like 3-1, double 1, 3-2.
Yeah.
Let's say you roll anything else, it's not so good for you.
I don't think I can believe it though. What else can I do? I'm not sure about this.
But and then you practice the clock. Something tell me just stop and just check that I can't double, but Even if I hit, it's not hitting is very good for me, but anything else. Okay, now I'm 4-2 it. So.
Well, 6-4. Double fours, double sixes. All good. Double four enough. I think that's a must. Well, this isn't actually. Doesn't really do anything for me. Except bring me a bit closer.
So I don't know these. I want to escape, which means I want to come. I tend to want to come up, but if I come up, I'm putting the checker on the point that you want to make move. And I'm looking to see whether or not some of these numbers are bridged.
5-3, 6-2. So.
Yeah. And maybe that's what he's actually. I mean, I could
6-2 is due to you, 5-3 is due to you.
This is 5-3 anyway.
Right. But if you stay back, I hit with 6-2 here or 6-2 here, here, 5-3, 5-3. Got double fives there.
I mean, the double decision is easy. I think the take decision is slightly more difficult.
Do have some good threats. Eights and nines. Threes would be a hug. Double six is bad every way. One. Yeah. Alright, gammons. It's going to be around 50% gammons that ups the gammons. That is more dangerous. How much safer is that? Quite a bit safer. Not sure.
Yeah, you sometimes. It was like I knew you didn't want to take 3 men off, and I would have done. And the reasons you gave, like, well, this is quite a bit safer, I think is not true. I don't think this is that much safer. Because, well, if people can visualize, if you go back, or you can visualize the position where you've got 3 men on the 6 and you've taken 3 men off the 5, you weren't leaving that many shots anyway. I think a lot of this.
We're going to run out of time at this rate.
No, we're not going to run out of time.
That's better. That can do a double shot.
This is tricky. I suppose I want to keep the 6 point, but you've still got a 3 point board. Do I want to leave the checker there if I hit you? I don't know.
I think that's right.
Okay, so I'm needing 4-2, but covering is like gigantic. Okay.
I don't want to make this decision. My instinct is to pass. But that could be a huge blunder.
I want reasons. I don't want. Yeah,
Okay.
we want like the.
3s and 5s. How many covering
Yeah.
shots do you have?
Right. Right.
This is 4-1, 3-2, 26. 26 times you cover, and I would definitely be passing after that.
And if I don't cover?
Of the 10 numbers you don't cover, I don't know if you're lifted or not. I think probably not. It was right to slot last time, probably not to slot this time. So of those 10 numbers, then I think I am winning. Even when I hit you.
By the way, just so just what don't want you to.
I think it's a pass because the 10 numbers, let's say I hit you 3 or 4 of them,
Yeah.
even then I don't win all of those. So I think I must have less than 25%, maybe as little as like 15. And so even at this score, on a 4Q trailing, still, I think it's pass. Challenging that one?
You want. I don't think it's a redouble.
Really?
But Yeah, kind of disappointed. Why? If I've only got 26 covers, then yeah, it's not meant to be pleasant. I mean, shall I? It's hard to be specific. It's basically about the covers, and I don't know if it was it definitely 26, 5s and 3s,
25,
24, 25. Was it 20? Yeah.
25.
Right, that makes a difference. Then you really have to think, well, okay, it's not great if I don't cover, but if I don't cover and you lose an extra 2 points, it's no big deal. You're like you're 4-2 down, but if you win, or if you can get to Riki, that's a huge deal for you. Yeah, I'm not sure like what, I think it's just a kind of, not, I wouldn't say fear, but just I could sense that you wouldn't want to take that because you just didn't like the position. But the thing is, you have to take stuff like that in backgammon, even when it doesn't look very good, because just giving up the game to go 6-2 is bad. Is also bad. But you know, I could be completely way off, like on all of this.
Well, let's find out.
In which case, the fact that you pretty much decided you were going to pass. If it was a pass, then you did all the right things. Like your time you took and everything you were just passing it.
Do you think it was a pass for money?
No, that's the thing. What I just part of the reason I kind of get a little bit like sort of, what do I do here? I get a little bit uppity is because ultimately I don't know, and I'm annoyed that I don't know, and I wish I did, but I have a strong sense that it wasn't a pass, and I wish. What to do if I just do that? Okay. Same kind of.
This one I'm not as frightened by. This is a much more familiar position. And it's not completely obvious that this is a cube. So I should be taking
Right,
a
what
lot
was
of
I going to say?
this score.
Yeah, I think the other way around, that's the thing. It's like, what? Why? How can you think? I mean, I could roll a 5-4, but I'm way up in the race after double 4, and once I hit, there's just so many gammons. So it's like, I get kind of perplexed, but of course I could be just talking absolute wank. So I'd like to come there and, yeah, you can definitely turn it around. You can definitely come in with 2, you probably will. But there's so many gammons, and even at this score.
It's starting to look a little bit dubious.
So, I don't know, maybe, you still sound really, are you a bit tired? Maybe, you look a little bit
You
tired.
might have bluffed me here somewhere.
I wasn't trying to bluff you, I was just like, I was hoping that you wouldn't just, I mean, at least.
Backgammon is difficult.
It is, you've got kind of, because again, this is a bit like that. You didn't really look at the position. You just kind of like just sort of. Is there any? And I'm just saying it because that's what I see. Is there any truth? It's like you didn't really give it any. You didn't like give it any analysis or something. Just find something in the position that you could work out. You just kind of looked at it.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, this is one thing I have noticed is
You've got to find like something. It's difficult. You have to look at trying to find some feature in the position that you can kind of hang your hat on and say, "Oh, I get. That's what's happening." Like that. I probably need a shot, but it'll be. Sorry, what were you saying?
one thing I have noticed is that I can make different decisions about the same position on different days.
But is that because
Well, whatever's happening in my mind to get to a conclusion.
it's sort of like a bit so hard? Sometimes you're like just flipping there.
Yeah.
Good point. Like
What, what happens in our minds? Something happens.
But that with cube decisions, you can have a good stab by working out. Like obviously, no one works out the exact permutations that even a computer would take. But you can. Yeah. I'm surprised because I'm sure you can do that. I think you might play 5, but it's fine.
Well, the question is, why do people make mistakes? Sometimes we review a game and think, like, have you ever played a game, looked at it 20 minutes later, and thought, how did I get to that?
How did I do that? Not all that much, no. I hate that. That's the type of mistake that I hate. It happens, but not all that much. But even so, like, I will know when I haven't really thought about decision, and that's when I kind of go into full beat myself up on that. Because I know that, whereas it seems like you're not so aware of that. You don't really want to be, and so I feel a bit mean by pointing that out.
Yeah, that's
like
not,
you don't need
not
to.
What's going on?
You don't need to go there. Like, but for me, it matters whether or not I feel I've at least had a good think about.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you do lose concentration.
Do you think you lost concentration there?
Well, yeah.
Because I didn't.
This is what.
Maybe that's all it was. I didn't see that then. Yeah.
But that's how errors happen. Right.
It felt like a little bit. I'll let you play this and then.
I don't know what to do. Really not sure. Let's try this.
That you just couldn't, like, you kind of got a bit lazy, which is fine. That's
Yeah.
what that happens.
Yeah, that does
But
happen.
I never. That's the only reason I guess I'm reasonably good at this game is because I just don't. I never get it. I can't. If I get lazy, then I'm like.
Well, that's not the experience I have. I find that I can make a different decision on the same position on different days.
Yeah, well, of course. If some of the time you're like, oh, I'm not going to think about that, then of course you're, because another day you might think it. It's not. very deep. It's got deep and.
Another way to think about it is if the advice is don't lose concentration.
Yeah.
I mean that's not that
Stupid
useful.
advice.
I already know this.
I didn't realise though, honestly. I didn't. It might just be you don't really. You're not invested in it for some reason. I have always a level of investment in a game for better or for worse, which maybe I assume that everyone does. And obviously we're not really playing for anything. I mean, we're playing for like a little bit of. I know, but we're not really playing for anything, so I suppose. Yeah, I'm just making assumptions about.
I don't think. Well, I think the focus and attention that anyone, not just myself, can give to a problem is affected by more than just their willingness to.
Yeah. Which is why I said maybe you're tired.
Well, no, not really. Another interesting thing is the likelihood of making an error after having just made an error.
Is high.
I think it's higher than independent.
Oh no, for sure. I didn't really pick up on that. Yeah.
And why is that?
Because of like a little bit of panic and stuff like that.
Yeah. Your mind is affected by more than just the problem you're trying to solve.
Yeah.
And
No, that's kind of what I was saying in a way. But I didn't
but
express it in that way.
I'm affected by it to
Yeah,
a greater
it's a bit
degree.
weak, yeah. And I was sort of just checking because I wasn't sure whether that was because in some ways I was expecting you not to do that because I know you're capable of more than.
Well, if it agitates you, imagine how it is behind my eyes. Watching yourself make the wrong decision day after day. It can be difficult. I know that I can do it too. But, well, do I go backwards here?
Don't get too fine.
Well, I've got not much option. Alright, let's
It's descended into some sort of like talk shows. Chamber. I feel I've gone to.
It's almost over. Don't worry.
I've got like when I start talking, I can't stop. That kind of thing.
That makes you a good commentator. Right. I don't think hitting is the right idea. Yeah. Don't have a lot of time.
No.
That might be quite wrong.
No, I don't think so. Should I do this and leave a bunch of blocks?
Like so. Well, I have to do something.
Hey, viewers. No one's watching.
But this is the most exciting part.
No, they couldn't
not the type of game I want to be playing with 45 seconds.
Much nicer. You're not saying anything. So much nicer. You think I don't feel the so much more pleasant.
It's all about balance.
So much more pleasant.
Sometimes it's parties are fun, but you need a break from the party at some stage.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it looks like we're going to have to play more games. Honestly, I think 49 seconds is not too bad. No, not even trying to be clever. I think once someone's down to
Oh,
phew.
the crowd
The
is...
torch is over. I probably won't roll there. I'm obsessed with the clock. I would never have done what Sander did in I'm not gonna, wow. I would never have done what he did in Monaco.
What did you do?
He was playing kind of a newish player, and the guy was taking the player was getting a very long time, so Sander moved the clock to one side. That turned it off,
Huh.
and they played without a clock.
Can you do that?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't have done that myself.
No, maybe not.
For not just for me, but also because of the rules.
Big double summon.
I'm kind of exhausted as well.
GG.
Good game.
Well done.
Okay, let's turn the.
Wow.
Hopefully, it was all on. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching.